I thought my divorce hearing couldn't get any worse until my daughter stood up, walked to the judge, and played a video that exposed the truth none of us were ready for. What happened next left the entire courtroom frozen. Welcome to the place where real stories come alive, where secrets are uncovered, truths are revealed, and the moments that change lives forever are told with emotion and authenticity. If you love gripping, dramatic, and unforgettable real-life stories, you're in the right place. Get comfortable, because what you're about to hear will stay with you long after the video ends. At first, I thought the hardest day of my life would be the day my wife told me she wanted a divorce. I was wrong. The hardest day came later, sitting in a cold courtroom, my entire life reduced to statements, signatures, and accusations that didn't belong to me. And right in the middle of that, my daughter, my quiet, thoughtful, gentle daughter, stood up and walked toward the judge with something in her hand. But before I tell you what she showed everyone, I need to explain how we ended up there. For most of our marriage, I believed my wife, Laura, loved me. Or at least, I believed she loved the version of me she had built in her mind. Stable, predictable, useful. I worked long hours, often 7 days a week, to keep our home running. I cooked, I cleaned, I paid bills, I cared for our daughter Lily when Laura was too tired or too busy. And I didn't mind. I loved my family. But over the years, something in Laura changed. Small criticisms turned into constant complaints. Her tone hardened. Her patience thinned. And I just kept trying to make things better, believing it was just stress or life or something temporary. Except it wasn't temporary. One evening, after months of silent tension and slammed doors, she said she wanted a divorce. No conversation, no attempt at counseling, just finality. I wasn't angry. I was exhausted. But what broke me wasn't the divorce itself. It was her next move. She wanted full custody of Lily, and she made it clear how she planned to get it. She accused me of being emotionally unstable. He's controlling, she said. He's paranoid, inconsistent, neglectful. Words I never imagined hearing directed at me. Words that stung because they were weapons, not truths. I expected the divorce hearing to be rough, but I didn't expect to sit there feeling like a stranger to my own life. Laura came prepared. She had a lawyer who spoke smoothly, confidently, painting me as someone I didn't recognize. Meanwhile, my own lawyer did his best, but even he looked concerned. The judge listened while Laura sat there with a calm face layered in practiced sadness. She dabbed at her eyes at the right moments. She sighed in just the right places. It was a performance, one she'd rehearsed well. I kept my eyes on my hands. I didn't want the judge to think I was glaring at her or reacting aggressively. I just wanted the truth to speak for itself. But in that courtroom, truth felt small. Then came the moment that changed everything. Before the judge made any temporary orders, he asked whether anyone else wanted to speak. Usually, no one does at that stage. It's nerve-wracking. It's formal. It's intimidating. But my daughter stood up. 17-year-old Lily, the girl who spent most of her time reading, painting, or quietly humming songs under her breath, the girl who never liked conflict and avoided arguments at all costs. She stood, her hands shaking, and said softly, "Your Honor, I have something to show you." The entire room stilled. Laura's eyes widened. "Lily, sit down," she whispered sharply. But Lily didn't move. Her voice trembled, but she forced herself to speak. I need to show this, because none of what's being said is true. She held up a small flash drive. My heart punched against my ribs. I had no idea what she had. I hadn't asked her for anything. I would never put her in that position. My lawyer glanced at me, confused. The judge raised an eyebrow. The bailiff took the drive. Within seconds, the courtroom screen flickered on. And then the video started. At first, I didn't recognize what I was looking at. It was grainy, like footage from a phone camera pressed between books or hidden under something. Then I heard the voice. My wife's voice. Not the calm, sad voice she used in court. The real one. Sharp. Cold. Cruel. The video showed her in the kitchen yelling at me. No, not yelling, screaming. Insults poured out of her like venom. She called me useless, a failure, pathetic. She blamed me for everything. The money, the house, even her own unhappiness. It wasn't one clip. It was many. All stitched together. Different days, different outfits, different angles, but always the same theme. Her berating me, belittling me, mocking me. And always the same thing from me, silence. I just stood there, absorbing it, trying not to escalate anything, trying to keep peace in a home that felt like a battlefield where only one side had weapons. The courtroom was dead silent. Then came the clip that broke me. It was a recording of a night I remembered too well. I had cooked dinner, I was washing dishes, my back was turned, and she walked in and shoved a plate off the counter. It shattered. "Clean it, since that's all you're good for," she snapped. In the video, I didn't even turn around. I just knelt down and started picking up the pieces while she continued shouting. And then, faintly, off camera, was my daughter's voice. "Mom, stop!" But Laura didn't stop. She yelled louder. The last clip was the most painful. I was sitting on the edge of my bed, head in my hands. My shoulders were shaking. I hadn't realized anyone saw that moment, but Lily had. She had quietly recorded it from the hallway. Her voice whispered through the video, "Dad, I'm sorry." The video ended. No one spoke. Not the lawyers, not the judge, not even Laura, who sat frozen, her face a twisted mess of panic and humiliation. My daughter wiped tears from her face and stepped forward. "This is what really happened," she said, her voice steadying with each word. "My dad isn't unstable. He isn't controlling. He's the one who tried to keep our family together. He's the one who took care of me. He's the one who protected us, even when Mom was the one hurting him. I made those videos because I was scared nobody would believe us." "Why didn't you tell anyone?" the judge asked gently. "Because she kept saying Dad would lose me if we ever said anything. I thought I'd be taken away from him." My throat tightened. I had no idea she had carried that fear. The judge leaned back, stunned. He cleared his throat, then looked directly at my wife. "Miss Andrews, do you have anything you want to say in response to this?" For the first time in a long time, Laura wasn't composed. Her face crumbled. I was under stress," she stammered. "It was taken out of context." "Multiple contexts," the judge replied. "Multiple days. Multiple incidents." She tried again. "He provoked me." My lawyer stood up. "Your Honor, in every clip, my client is silent. He never raises his voice. He never reacts aggressively." Laura's lawyer rubbed his forehead, realizing the case had collapsed entirely. The judge paused, then delivered the words that changed everything. "Until this court sees otherwise, custody will remain with the father, and I am ordering a full psychological evaluation before making any final decisions regarding custody or visitation." Laura gasped. "That's not fair! He manipulated!" But the judge cut her off. "The only manipulation I've seen today is yours." The bailiff asked her to sit down. Meanwhile, my daughter walked over to me. I held her tightly, burying my face in her hair. She whispered, I'm sorry, Dad. I didn't want to make it worse. Worse? I whispered. You saved me. After the hearing, as we walked outside, my lawyer told me quietly, I've been doing this 25 years. I've never seen a child take a stand like that. She's incredibly brave. But it wasn't just bravery. It was pain. Pain she had carried alone. Pain she had hidden from me because she thought telling the truth would destroy what little family we had left. That night, while sitting on the couch, she told me she had started recording nearly a year earlier. I knew something bad would happen, she said. I knew Mom would lie. She always blames you for everything. I just couldn't let her take me away from you. I hugged her again, overwhelmed with gratitude and sadness and love. As months passed, the court-appointed counselors evaluated everything. They interviewed us, reviewed the recordings, and examined the household history. Eventually, the final ruling came. Joint custody, but with strict conditions. No unsupervised contact for my ex-wife until she completed therapy, anger management, and a behavioral program. The judge explicitly praised my daughter's courage in exposing emotional abuse. I never wanted revenge. I never wanted Laura punished. I just wanted peace. I wanted my daughter safe. I wanted truth acknowledged instead of buried. And somehow, through all the darkness, my daughter became the light that guided us out of it. Today, our life is quieter, gentler. Healing is slow, but it's real. Sometimes I still think about that moment in court, the moment my daughter stood up for me when I felt like I had nothing left. The moment she proved that even when you're convinced you're invisible, someone sees you, someone cares, someone knows the truth. And whenever I start to doubt myself, I remember the words she said outside the courthouse. Dad, you always protected me. This time, it was my turn to protect you. And in the end, that's what saved us. Thank you for spending your time here, where every story reminds us how powerful the truth can be. If you want more deep, moving, and eye-opening real-life stories, make sure you stick with us. There's so much more to tell. Until next time, take care of yourself, and remember, every story has a moment that changes everything.